John X, what did you think of this? Excuse me as I hold on. What did you think of this? David Peterson, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
Typical David Peterson start. Wasn't too shocked about it. I know Met fans were kind of like, whoa, but
pretty good though. You got to say, no.
That's what I'm saying. It's a typical David Peterson start. Like there's
when he's on, you mean?
Exactly.
Let me announce that we're talking Mets real quick. Hold on. So I'm worried about Sean Manaea. I got to be honest, man.
I mean, I don't think the Mets take too much of a hit besides the money situation. $25 million.
Right.
But again, they made a decision with him, and he's starting in the bullpen. So right then and there, it's like they took an affirmative action to move him in the bullpen instead of taking the risk of starting with him as a starter and risking him even getting worse than what we're seeing right now in terms of inconsistencies on the velocity, location. So you want him to get his mojo back by getting in the bullpen and not taking that.
But do you think that's going to work? I can't see that working out well for him.
It's better than being a starter. You have more pressure as a starter than you do as a reliever.
I guess it also depends when you come into the game, right? I mean, if you're coming in the game when it's.
But I don't see them putting him because of his velocity dropping and because of where he's at right now. I don't see them ever putting him in a big game situation unless he's been on a roll or he's basically the only option that they have because the other arms that they've overused them or whatever the situation could be. I think if he comes in in the starting.
Turn and fire.
Yeah, let's get this up. I wanted to get this up for you.
Turn and fire. Ground ball. And will sneak into center field. The base hit for Beatty. Bichette will score from second. And the Mets have a 3-1 lead.
That's the Mets first baseman right there.
Always one of the things.
So and it was all off of Alcantara. So that was a little impressive. What did you think about that? What did you think about? It's funny. I put up that post about when we were talking about Beatty, and I said that Beatty's going to get the first base job. YouTube does not like that one bit.
No.
They do not like hearing Brett Beatty at first base.
Honestly, the first base job has been on a negative side when it comes to Met fans. You give away your primary first baseman, you don't bring them back, and then you put 2 guys that really don't have the experience in first base within Polanco or Brett Beatty. Maybe Mark Vientos, but then again, Mark Vientos is he's slow compared to Pete. So options are not in anybody's favor. However, they are Major League Baseball players. They do get the reps. They are getting the practice that they need to get comfortable in first base. So I think those guys, they're mobile. I think those guys will do well, especially Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty's very versatile. He can adapt.
We're talking about Beatty here. He's played all over the place. He is Brett Beatty. Let's face it, is the new Jeff McNeil. However, if he continues to be consistent, I think his job will be at first base every single day, or most days. When he's facing a tough lefty, Polanco will be in there. That's my take on it.
Right. Yeah, I think that.
Do you agree on that, or are you?
That's how you have to put it. I think you've had the conversation with Jorge Polanco about playing the first base position. I don't see why all of a sudden you change that and move him away from it. You want him to get those reps. If there's a situation where Brett Beatty, knock on wood, gets hurt or he needs a day off, you want a guy that is already comfortable getting those reps at first base if those type of situation happens. And yeah, I think he would be him and Polanco will be switching.
Do you think he's going to earn the job this year? Finally? Because how many years in a row he's come in, it was his job to lose, and he's lost it. Do you think this is the year he finally earns it and stays? I hope so. And I actually think so. I actually believe in this guy this year.
Right.
But I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I mean, the fans are divided because you have Brett Beatty fans and you have Mark Viensel fans. One want to see one succeed, the other want to see the other succeed, and then you have the group that want to see both succeed. I'm part of
That
the
would
both.
be me. I would be on the. I want to see both succeed because then the team does better.
Right, exactly. That's where I am at as well, and I think most Mets fans should be on that, no matter what. But I think he has the opportunity to do that. He's been hitting the ball consistently much better than when we first seen him. I think the job is his for the taking. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be playing it every day. I think Polanco has, they've made the right for Polanco to earn that. It's besides being a DH, but
yeah, well, Polanco's definitely going to be when they go against a lefty. Polanco's going to be at first base.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Right. So I don't think it's.
I just said righty because most starters are right-handed. Let's be honest.
Right. Yeah. Again, the way Carlos Mendoza wants to make those adjustments and go based off analytics, I think it'll work for both of them. But I think the Mets are in a good spot when it comes to first base.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of Polanco, let's get to Polanco today. Hold on. Here he is. Polanco up.
Be his 63rd pitch.
Goes the other way.
Swatted in the air down the left field line. And
sacrifice fly.
The catch. Soto tags. Throw comes into third. A sacrifice fly for Jorge Polanco. And it's 2-1 New York.
Really good job by Alberto Hernandez to get over and make that play.
And again, off of Alcantara, which is impressive.
Smart
so, yeah, I mean, that's the difference between this year and last year. That last year, that would have been a strikeout, and you don't get the runner home.
Right, exactly.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy about that. But touching back on the Manaea thing for a second, I just wanted to go back to that thing. Will he get an opportunity to actually start, or is he going to be that sixth man? What's the story? What is going on with Sean Manaea?
I mean, it's depending on how he does in the bullpen, and depending on who's going to go down within that rotation.
Well, he'll be how many lefties he got in the bullpen? We have we have, who's the guy? Minter's not healthy though, right?
AJ Minter.
He's not healthy though.
He'll be in by May.
Right. Okay, so it's I guess he'll be the second lefty then.
Mm-hmm.
Really, but it really will be in anything that's kind of, if it's dicey, really he's going to be the guy that's going to be pitching.
Right.
How do you think our bullpen performs this year? I think it's going to be very good. I do think Devin Williams is going to bounce back. I think Weaver's going to bounce back. I think Minter, if he stays healthy, could be one of the best setup men in the league. And I love Brooks, really. I always have. And they got a lot of other talent. The guys I even mentioned. Well, give me some of these other guys' names. Lambert, right? Who else we got up there in the Mets bullpen here?
As of right now, that would be.
As of right now, I mean, yeah.
Because
what happened with what's his name? I'm going blank. The old guy. From the Braves. Why can't I remember his name? Why? Oh my God! Why am I blanking out? This is horrible.
From the Braves. What the hell?
The old guy he pitched for the Mets. He's in spring training. Why can't I remember his name?
Oh, Craig Kimbrell.
Kimball.
Yeah, he's not making a team.
But then there's something came out that he might be willing to go to AAA.
To AAA. I mean, if he wants to, then, but I don't think he's making the opening day roster.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But what was your take on that?
I mean, kudos to him, a veteran, understanding that he's not the pitcher he once was, and any opportunity that he could get, at this point you got to take it.
And here it is, official. Kimbrel will not be on the Mets opening day roster, but he might go down, and he might take that thing. He might take the position with Syracuse, and see if he can pitch his way back up. Let's take a look at Bo Bichette's double today. All right.
For the corner. Lindor second.
All right, let me go to this. All right, it's up.
Soto at first. Here,
Oh!
He yanks that over leaping Graham Pauley, and this is ticketed for the corner. Lindor scores. Soto will stop at third. An RBI double for Bo Bichette. The Mets are threatening for more, but they've tied it at 1 here in the fourth.
Tell you what, this is one of the things that's going to make this Met ball club so tough, the top 3 hitters.
Second, Soto at first. Here's Bichette. He yanks that over leaping Graham.
I mean, you got to like what you see from there. I think Bo Bichette is going to be a real piece for the Mets this year. I think he's going to be a real dangerous piece for the Mets. If he stays healthy, he offensively, he's going to be great for us. He's going to drive in runs left and right. He is going to be, hitting with runners in scoring position. I mean, just look at today. First and second, no outs, cracks a double. That's the player we've been looking for 5 years, and we finally got him.
I mean, I think he's trying to prove a lot of people wrong.
What do you mean?
A lot of people don't think that he will consistently be good at third base. A lot of people think that he's overpaid. A lot of people think that he went to the wrong team. People were thinking, a lot of people thought, hey, he should have went back to Toronto, even though Toronto really didn't offer him anything close to what Philly and the Mets offered him. Philly offered him exactly what he wanted, and he still chose to come to the Mets. So people are praying on, specifically Philly fans are praying that he doesn't work out because of that. They're salty because of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just hater talk, though.
No,
right?
Right. That's not even me to throwing a jab at them. That's just
right.
Based on what the conversation is. And just people think, hey, the Mets are taking a risk paying this man $42 million, and you're playing him out of position. He's been in a position that he's never played in his career.
But he'll be all right, I think, man.
But that's what I'm saying, is that I think he'll be all right, and people are praying the negatives.
Of course,
that he doesn't work out. So that's why I think it goes back to my point that I think he's trying to prove a lot of people wrong, because he coming here. Remember he has 2 opt-outs, so he can opt out after this year. We're getting clowned for that. Where in my sense is let him opt out. He plays well. He wants to opt out. He has every right to. I think.
If he opts out, that means he had a really good season.
He would be crazy not to. And I'm saying that as a fan. Usually fans are like, we hope he doesn't opt out. We hope he opts in. I would love it if he opts in. However, I won't be mad if he opts out.
Because then we know he's going to have a hell of a season.
Right. But it's not even that. It's go get your money.
Exactly.
You have an opportunity to go get more money than what you got from the Mets if you have a great year. If it results in a championship, who like, there's nothing to complain about. So
we got this lineup here. How's this gonna look? So I'll start off. It's gonna be Lindor's going to be leading off, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Soto 2. I think we could agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Bichette 3. Is that going to be?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is where I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Is it Beatty 4th?
No.
You put Beatty at cleanup. Who you put in that cleanup? You put Polanco there? Polanco.
Yeah. Got a switch hitter, a really good contact hitter with a little bit of power.
And then do you go Beatty 5th? Or do you do...
No, I would go Luis Robert 5th. because he divides that lineup he divides that lineup in the middle with power and speed.
Okay. So if you're going to put Robert there, then Beatty's got to go 6, I got to think, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so now we're going down the barrel. Do you keep power and go Alvarez here, or do you go somewhere else? Simeon, do you?
I would go Simeon 7th.
Okay.
And I would go Alvi 8th.
Okay.
And then I would go Carson Bench 9th.
Okay. I actually like that. I do. I like that. I would even consider, and I know they're probably not going to do this, but I would consider putting Robert 4th if he's hitting for a lot of power this year. Now, I know you might going to say, well, Eddie, then you got 2 righties back-to-back with Bichette and Robert. Right. But the reason I say that is you're putting 2 big power bats there. And you could also, if Robert's really tearing the cover off the ball, you could put him 3rd.
Right.
I would not be so. If you're able, if Robert comes back and I'm talking about big comeback here. If Luis Robert is hitting 3rd for this Mets team, I could guarantee you the Mets will be in 1st place.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does tear the cover off the baseball, I think his ceiling is 4. Unless Bo Bichette is really cold. But Bo Bichette's a better contact hitter than Luis Robert Jr. So I wouldn't want to take him out of position at 3rd. If you are right though, if he is hitting for power and he's going absolutely
like I'm talking 38 home run power, that's what I'm talking about.
Then I leave him at 4th because then that's your true power hitter.
Cleanup.
Yeah, I'd leave him as a cleanup hitter compared to Jorge Polanco, where he could be your 5th and like I said, divide that lineup from the bottom half to the top half.
And I know analytics don't like 2 righties back to back, but if he's on if he's on one of those tears where he's hitting on pace to hitting almost 40 home runs, you almost got to think you got to put him at the cleanup spot. And I think if Robert's at the cleanup spot again, you're talking about a Mets team that's in 1st place.
Yeah, that's assuming that he does hit the ball crazy this year, power wise.
I'm having high hopes, and he hasn't done it in 3 years. So that's.
I think they're looking at this team more of just straight contact than power. I think they're looking at the power like, hey, we got it's extra.
It's good if we get it.
If it's good if we get it, but the main thing for us is contact.
I agree. Well,
that's why I don't.
There is one person they're going to look for power on this lineup besides Lindor and Soto. Mm-hmm. There's one guy.
It's Alvi.
Of course.
100%.
This is the year. 2026 is the year that Francisco Alvarez, he has to hit 25 plus home runs. There's no excuses. Enough's enough. This is the year. You got the lineup. You have the hitters in front of you. You have the hitters behind you. I don't want to see him chasing. I want to see Alvarez, and I expect him to hit 25 home runs. What's your expectation? 25 plus.
Give me 20. Just because I need to see consistency just from offense in general. I need him to make consistent contact. I can't run straight to power when the guy is barely in the lineup and he's barely hitting the ball consistently.
Well, I mean, he's going to be our everyday catcher
if he's healthy. Yeah.
Well, that's again, this conversation is saying he's healthy.
Even if he is healthy, I still need to see consistent hitting. I can't go straight power and say, yo, I need him to hit. Like, I see what you're saying. I just don't want to put the number of home runs on him just yet until he's hitting line drives consistently, until he's hitting doubles in the gap like he was when he first came up. Because that, besides the power, he was hitting balls in the gap, and that was his thing. He was a double machine as well.
He used to go to right center a lot.
I need to see that Alvi before I can start.
The question is, will we see that Alvi?
That's That's the question. I think that's the question every Met fan is asking.
Right. When it comes to Marcus Semien, I know we brought him in here for his glove, but I'm going to give you a take. And I told you, I think I might have mentioned this to you. I may have not. I'm not sure. I think Marcus Semien is going to be one of the keys to this Mets team because of his leadership. All right. He was brought in here for leadership. Okay. They let go of a guy in Nimmo who was a big leader. Say whatever you want about Nimmo. He was a leader. I don't care what anybody says. Well, I don't want to hear that old captain garbage. Nimmo was a leader. If Nimmo played ball the right way, let's be perfectly honest. All right. But we brought in another guy that plays ball the right way, and that's Marcus Semien. If Marcus Semien, and I'm not saying he's going to turn back the clock and be that 40 home run guy. I don't think he could be that. But if he could give me a year like Starling Marte's first year here, 20 home runs, 22 home runs, 260, 270 average, 70 RBIs. If he can do that, he makes this offense so dangerous, it is not funny. Because it is almost like you don't have one easy out in this lineup, especially if the kids produce and if the kids are healthy. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that assessment? Do you think he could do that? Where are you with Semien? Where are you at with Semien?
I mean, I haven't projected as a number 7 hitter in the lineup, so I think as a 7 hitter, him giving you a 270, maybe 275 average on the year with 20 home runs and maybe 75, 70 RBIs, maybe 80 if they even gets to that.
If they score a lot.
If they score a lot, which again I think that's the model that they're trying to do here. I think that's success, no matter what you think when it comes to that, because you weren't getting that from Jeff McNeil the last 2 years.
No, we haven't gotten Jeff McNeil in about 4 years.
So his replacement, and to get that production from a veteran, a leadership, a World Series champion who performed in the World Series. Wasn't like he's a champion just by everybody else. No, he was one of the guys. One of the reasons
why a captain,
like that. That's all you can ask for, especially because he's up in age already. So for him to give you that type of production at 36 is more. I tip my cap. That's a thank you for your service if he doesn't come back here, because I'm sure Met fans are going to expect a lot from him. And
from Semien?
Yeah, just because that's who we are. There's still fans in here that still love Jeff McNeil. He was in a trade for Brandon Nimmo. They're Brandon Nimmo lovers, so they're going to hold him.
Well, Top, what I've seen more love than anybody is the Pete Alonso love. I've seen that more than anybody else. It's the Mets fans cannot let go of the Pete Alonso thing. And
I've seen both between him and Nimmo. The Jeff McNeil, I think they kind of understood.
Jeff McNeil, he was underperforming the last few years. He was declining.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of got that. They were like, we know, we see it. But the Nimmo and Pete, I think Nimmo was more because just Nimmo was a fun guy. Like Nimmo was a guy that's like, I like his attitude.
He was a gamer. The guy ran to first base. He hustled. He never took a play off. I mean, he was
his attitude. But when with Pete, it was more, this is a guy that holds our home run record, the rookie record, the franchise record. Again, he was our power bat. He was our legitimate first baseman. He came through our system. They hold that personally. So, even though he is a traditional first baseman, it's more than just him being a traditional first baseman. Everybody just grew to loving the guy. So with Pete, it's a little more close to home. But
are you over losing him?
I've been over that. The moment that he signed with the Baltimore Orioles, I said that I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with me, I was at the last series in Miami. I was at that last game. And you were on the Queens baseball space as I got out and I was leaving the park. I went on I rant. I was ripping this. I ripped them to shreds from the top to bottom. And I said, the one thing I said, I do not want to see these players next year again. I don't want to see. I said they all could go. I even mentioned Diaz and Pete. I said it. And you know what? They're gone. And you know what, Top? I don't care. I don't care because I trust this group and I trust David Stearns. I trust this plan. Yeah. I think this is a better plan than the plan we had for 7 years in a row that just never got it done.
And you can tell that David Stearns, that Pete Alonso did not fit David Stearns' mold for a player.
No.
There was a lot that Pete was lacking in terms of consistency, especially on the defensive side. And
let me ask you: was it the range? Was it? It was definitely the range. It was definitely the throws, but it wasn't like the picks. Because when you watch Pete Alonso play every day, you're like, oh, this guy's a good pick and shortstop. First baseman. He's a good pick at first baseman. He could pick the ball, but on simple plays, he missed.
Yeah,
sharp hits that go by, like a real good first baseman keeps that ball in the infield. When it's Pete, it goes into the outfield.
And Pete wasn't hitting for contact on a consistent basis.
Well, last year he did.
But a little bit better.
Last year he was the best hitter on the team.
I mean, like you on the team, I'm talking
from
about
start to finish.
Right, but I think when it comes to what David Stearns wants, he wants more contact hitters than anything. And then on top of that, it's like, Pete kind of didn't make it easy for them when it came to negotiations. I mean, you remember the Amazing Fest when Cohen basically told the fans, like, this negotiation with Pete has been exhausting, and they still found a way to bring him back on a 3-year deal, which had an opt-out after the first. We all knew he was.
And as soon as that game ended in Miami, I'm opting out.
Right.
It was fuck you.
Didn't even give yourself time. You basically what you told us was that you had that in the back of your mind for a while.
That he was leaving.
Right.
So that's why, to me, I could give two. I'm gonna say I'll give two craps that he left. I don't care.
I don't care either. I mean, and again,
I don't care if he hits 50 home runs for Baltimore. I don't care.
Against him, like he did what any athlete would do. You got your money. You had a baby on the way, which he did. Congratulations to him. You got it. You got to support your family. But at the end of the day, we rep for the letters on the front, not the letters in the back. And at the end of the day, I love Francisco Lindor to death. But if Francisco Lindor was traded tomorrow, knock on wood, it would be sad, but I got to move on because
that's it.
There's not. Listen, we need to see consistent winning. We need to make the playoffs consistently. We need to win a championship. And David Stearns and so has Steve Cohen have said that they have no aspirations not to build a team to not make the playoffs. They're not trying to tear this down by any means. They're still trying to go out there and spend and win. So if that's the case, you got to bring the players that are going to give you what you're looking for. And that's kind of what I respect David Stearns doing. He went out there after that last game in Miami and basically said, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what we're going to get in the offseason. And every player that has been brought here has fit his philosophy. I've said this multiple times throughout the offseason. So he's gotten the players that he's wanted, and this is basically the first full year that a team that we can judge him by based off what he wants.
And let's be perfectly honest. Marcus Semien was brought in here to lock down the right side of the infield. Even though we knew we were losing Pete and we weren't getting some Gold Glover at first base, Marcus Semien will control and get to a lot of balls that in past years would have got by Jeff McNeil, Brett Beatty, Ronald Acuna. Well, maybe not Ronald Acuna, but a lot of the guys that were out there every single day. Semien will get to that, and Semien will save a lot of runs. So I think that part of it is what a lot of Mets fans aren't realizing is, yes, Pete left. Yes, he's the greatest home run hitter in our franchise. However, he was flawed. He got our number one pitcher hurt twice. That is not good. Right. And that can't continue. And that's why Pete Alonso's out of here. Yeah. Let's be honest. He got Senga hurt twice.
Yeah.
You can't do that to an ace pitcher. And he was our ace.
Right.
So
Is what it is, man. Brand new team, season's here. Can't wait.
Do you
Baseball.
expect? Let me ask you this: do you expect any surprises? Any teams coming out of left field? Anything like that?
Um, hmm. It's hard to tell right now. I would,
Oh, obviously, there's no season going
yeah.
on.
If I could probably make a prediction on who I think could probably shock and probably come out of the woodworks, out of the blue, it would have to be, say, maybe Kansas City.
Really?
Kansas City, just because Bobby Witt keeps getting better. You got guys like Miguel Garcia, who's just coming off an amazing run in the World Baseball Classic. Their pitching is younger, and they're only getting better. They almost made the wild card last year with a winning record, and they didn't. Obviously, they were eliminated from postseason. But
Okay.
they finished with a winning record, and like I said, Bobby Witt, who just played an amazing WBC for USA, is determined to get them to the playoffs. So he's in his prime. He's on an extension. I wouldn't say
Good
prime.
ball player too.
Very good ball player. One of the best shortstops in the league right now. So
Probably he might be the best
might
shortstop.
be the best. Yeah. So I'm looking at Kansas City as a team that could definitely go in there and make a wild card this year.
What do you think about the San Diego Padres?
I'm not too invested. And when I mean invested, like I don't really care. That's a team that has done nothing but spend, but has dropped the ball. And I guess you could probably put them equivalent to us, but they have a little bit of more heavy hitters that have been there for a good amount of years, and they still have not found ways to win. So it's just another situation of until the Dodgers, which they probably will never be, but if they can't get past the Dodgers, they're really not going anywhere.
Okay. You know, I think a team that might surprise us a little bit. I think the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think they might have a team, and I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs or anything. I think they're going to finish over 500 this year for the first time in the first time since about 14 years.
I mean, if they do, they do. Well, you need
They're at like 7. I think they're over unders around 80 wins, something like that. I could see them winning like 83 games. I can.
They got good arms, man, but you need consistency from their offense, and then you need O'Neal Cruz to be.
He's got to step up.
Exactly.
But they bought in the kid from the Braves, right?
Marcell Ozuna.
And who else? They bought in another bat too. Didn't they get somebody else? Did they get Suarez, or who got Suarez?
Oh, you're talking about Suarez is back with with Seattle.
Okay, Suarez Seattle. I want to say they got somebody else. I'm not 100% sure, but they did get another bat. I know they had nothing special.
Ozuna was their biggest signing this year. So
yeah,
again, he's going to be DHing. He can only take you so far.
Yeah, they need hitters on that team. They got the arms.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. I think we'll wrap it there, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Of course, man. Anytime.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna be. Oh, I don't think we'll be on for a while, but I'll probably be doing Mets something during the week. So if you want to do something, let me know.
Absolutely.
With that said, if you guys aren't already doing it, follow Top Bunk Sports across all platforms, and if you're not, go to Garden City Media on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 100 subscribers, so I know you guys like those shorts because you guys hit them. So appreciate you guys. Good night. And God bless. Take care, everybody.